reconciliation account we need to create in FS00. So let me check the account groups in the OBD4 transaction. In the OBD4 transaction position, and then we have chart of accounts as JHIN. So let's take something like we need to take a particular account group which is related to sundry creditors. So then we have something like 101201. So I'll take it from there. Reconciliation for customers. Customer reconciliation account and only done. Then we have only balances in local currency should not be selected. We have to select this reconciliation account as customers reconciliation account. Then we need to go ahead with the line items, and then we have to go ahead with the 0001 and then we have to go ahead with the G067. Save it. And then we have to go ahead with the XD0. So creation of customer master XD0. We need to create a customer. So here for JHIN, I'm just selecting the account group. The account groups can be anything which are already the pre-existing ones or the ones that we created now. So changes in Protect and just say OK. Sales organization is JHIN. We need to create a sales organization. So this is a continuation of the video just now we completed till creation of reconciliation account FS00. After that, what we need to do is before creating the customer master, we need to create a sales organization, and that sales organization we need to create in OVX5, in which we'll go ahead with the JHIN. JHIN is a sales formation that we created, and in this we have to go ahead with the what you call X301, go for X301, and in this we go for the company code as JHIN, and sales formation is also JHIN. Okay, so we need to assign this JHIN to the company code JHIN. So we'll go for OBX3. So OBX3 is the one which we have to do here. So let's note this, and we go for OBX3, and in this we need to assign. So first let's select the company code here. The company code that we have here is JHIN. So we have to assign this sales organization. We have assigned it, save it, and then once we assign the sales organization to the company code, then we will go ahead and recreate the customer. So we are given the account group here and company code, and say enter, and Mr. Home, and then we have search term is Hyderabad, street number 1, house number 1, control data. Okay, we have India here, say enter, control data, payment data. All these are not mandatory. What's the most mandatory thing that we have right now here is that in the company code data we have something called reconciliation account, and this is what we need to select here and click on save. X301, OBE7 and FDN1, we have to create document type and number. So we need to create the document types and number in this here. So document types, normally we create an OBA7, which are already there. So standard document types are already there for the customer payments or customer accounts receivable. So those are customer payments. So we have customer payments reset. So for this we already have a number range called 14. We just need to go and maintain the number range for JHIN intervals. In this we already have the 14 being maintained here. If you give it as external, we have to give a number, but as of now we are not giving it like that. So we have that. Then what we have here is we have to go ahead with the, okay, we have this OBS and VPN, we have done that. So posting of customer invoice, we'll do it in F-22. This customer invoice. So this is the end user job. So whatever customer invoice we are creating right now is an end user job. So end users normally create the documents, so we don't put that. But as a consultant, we should be able to create that on our own as well. So we have just one to FDN1 again. Go back to FDN1. Intervals 18, 2016, and let's take from 800 to 9. Say okay. Save. Now let me the customer account, we can go for FPL5N. We can get the list of all the customers here. We'll go for FPL5N. Which we can go for list of all the customers. So this is the list of all the customers that we have. So we have customer credit memo F-27. So customer credit memo enjoy transaction F55075. So customer credit memo F-27 is what we have here. We will be creating in the next video the credit memo and credit memo with F-27 and F-75. Remaining things are like advance payments or down payments. Okay. So we can create an, as I told you, posting incoming payments we can do it only once we have a requirement that the customer has to pay. Hello everyone, Aditya here from JH Softech. In this session we are going to discuss about the credit management. In this we have maintain credit control area, that is OB45. We'll start with that and we'll do the configurations required for credit management. Basically for customers to give a credit, this credit management will be of great help. In fact, like this is the base on which we can provide the credit to a customer. Like there'll be, you can give the services and give the services or products up to a certain extent of cost. So if let's say if a customer is eligible for up to 10 lakhs of rupees of services or products, you can give up to it without money. So that is, and based on the customer's rapport, we are going to decide how much credit limit we are going to have for each customer. So let's go first to the transaction group OB45. OB45. So in the OB45 we'll go for credit control area. We'll give the credit control area as JHIN and currency is INR, and update, no update from documents, and fiscal year variant, we will give the fiscal year variant as JH, and we'll just save it. So like this. Now you have successfully saved this credit control area, and once we create a credit control area, we can also mention the risk management credit limit. Credit limit is like, let's say we can give up to something like something like 10 lakhs. Okay, just save. And then we have assign company code to credit control area OB38. So we'll go to the OB38 now, and in this I will go for position JHIN, and for this the credit control area is also JHIN. Save, say OK, and then we'll go ahead with the define credit risk categories OB01. So credit risk category OB01. Credit risk categories. So we'll go for new entries, and then we have credit risk categories, say something like 555, and credit control area is JHIN, and name is JHS Infotech credit category. So just say save, say OK. Now what we are going to do is define accounting clerk groups, OB02. So then we have define accounting clerk groups, credit representative groups OB02. So let's go for that, and we'll go for, obviously we'll not have any details, we will not have any entries for this because we have not created yet. So we'll give credit control group, we'll give it as JHI, because we'll give it, we can give only 3 letters here. So JHIN. So this is JHIN credit control group. Say OK, save, and then we have something like define credit representatives, assign employee to credit representative groups, OB51. So we'll be back. OB51. We will have defined credit representatives. We have to assign an employee to credit representative groups. We'll do OB51. So in this we'll go for new entries, and this credit representative, we have all these credit representative IDs. So we have JHI, select that, and function and name of the person's number, function, and all these things we can give. Say enter. So function. As of now we are keeping it blank because we don't want to assign it to a particular person. So if we keep it blank, it will be like you can assign it to anyone. So I'm just saving it back. But later point of time, in the real time, whenever we give the person's number, function key and person's number, automatically their details will come here. So we need to configure those things, and then we can put it here for the communication. So now here we have define intervals for days in areas for credit management, OB39. So OB39. So how many days we can give the credit, that also have to be entered. So in the first step we assigned how much amount we can assign, and now we are assigning how much time we can give the credit for. Okay, so now here OB39, so we'll go for OB39 in this new entries, this initial time, say like I'll take something like this one, new entries. Now here we'll go for JHIN. So 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 100 days, 150 days. These are the maximum days that we have cash discount. Just save, back. So these are the things that we have. These are the things that we have in the credit management. Back. That's it. Now we are going to go ahead with the asset accounting. Asset accounting is what we have to do it in the next video. The next video will have the asset accounting details. So this is something which is the end of the accounts receivable configurations. Hello everyone, I am Aditya here from JH Softtech. In this session we are going to focus more on dunning process. Dunning is a process of notifying the customer regarding payments. Dunning can also be defined as the correspondence involving credit control and interest calculations, specifically with the customers. In this dunning, the SAP financial accounting component is delivered with the dunning procedure and all further specifications for dunning. So check whether you can use the predefined settings or whether you have to make changes. So assign the required dunning procedures and areas if used, required for your business partners. So how do we do the dunning? We make phone calls, we can send the messages to the customer, or you can send emails, you can send letters or write-offs as well. And these are the transaction codes that we are going to make use of for defining dunning areas, OB61, dunning procedures, FBMP, assign dunning procedures in customer XT02, sale invoice postings F-22, and dunning procedure dunning F-150 program. This is the process that we have here, and in this slide we can just check out like what exactly is the procedure. We have dunning program. Whenever we run the dunning program, it goes back and picks up all the data based on the credit control data, and based on the credit control data it picks up all the data, all the information about the payments that have to be made, for which we have to remind the customer, and automatically it sends printouts or PDFs or emails, whatever is the procedure that we have kept upon. The Dunning run creates a Dunning proposal which can be edited, deleted, and recreated as often as it is necessary. If desired, the Dunning run can all directly and automatically be followed by the printing of Dunning notices. The edit of the Dunning proposals would therefore be skipped. Now what happens is, when we schedule a program to run, and it has to run it on a particular day, then automatically it runs that program, and we will be able to edit run that, and we will be able to see the data. So if desired, the Dunning run can directly and automatically be followed by the printing of Dunning notices. So you can assign it in such a way that you can design it in such a way that when the program runs, when the Dunning program runs, automatically it also has to send the notices as well. That also can be processed via emails or whatever. The editing of the Dunning proposals would therefore be skipped. So as a general rule, receivables are due at the net due date. So you can prevent customer invoices from Dunning. There are two ways to do it. So you can enter a Dunning block in the item, then the system puts this item on the blocked items list, and this item is not included in the Dunning notice. You can enter a Dunning block in the customer master. In such case, the system does issue a Dunning notice to all these accounts. So there is a procedure of avoiding the Dunning and also initiating the Dunning. So we are going to see at the configuration level. So here on the screen, whatever we are able to see here, Dunning level. So in this, a limited Dunning procedure has 3 Dunning levels, and normally we can also go for 4 Dunning levels, and we can go for after how many number of days should we give that Dunning procedure. I mean, like when it has to be initiated, when should be the first Dunning should happen, when the second Dunning should happen, when the third Dunning should happen, we have to mention it here. And then we have the print program for the Dunning procedure. If one time customers are done, the Dunning data is only updated in the items. Dunning notices are printed in a sequence defined by sort criteria. So reporting and all. Okay, so now we'll come back to the configuration part. Let's get back to the configuration part. As I discussed earlier, we have standard procedures that we have to follow for Dunning. We need to have the configurations here. Okay, we don't have it here. So these are the transaction codes that we will make use of. Dunning areas OB61. Let's create the Dunning areas now. OB61. This is where we are going to create the Dunning areas. So let's create a new area. Okay, we need to have the company code. Company code is VPRO. Area is something like VP. The Dunning area VP already exists, I guess, because we have just created that. VO. So one entry chosen. Just click on save. Dunning notices are not yet been saved. So we have to give the Dunning notices. Definitely we'll do that. So we have saved it. Now OB61, we just created a Dunning area called VO, and we have to define the Dunning procedures in FBMP transaction. We can do all these things through the in a path as well. So new procedure, we have Dunning procedure is VPRP. Dunning procedure. Dunning intervals. How many Dunning interval in days? So Dunning interval in days is something like, I'll put it as 10. So after every 10 days, Dunning has to happen. This is what is I am scheduling. Number of Dunning levels. Number of Dunning levels is 4. I'll give it as 4. Something you can give any number of Dunning levels. Max you can give it 9. Okay, total due item from Dunning level. So total due item from Dunning level, items say at least 1. Minimum days of areas. After 1 day also, 1 day we have starting the payment, starting the Dunning procedure. 1. Okay, so let's go for standard transaction or Dunning special. Standard transaction. Okay, Dunning levels, Dunning special GL transaction is not needed now. Dunning even for credit account balance. So even if they have taken the goods on the credit account, even then we want to do the Dunning. We want to remind them about the payment. Okay, so if you uncheck this, whoever has taken the goods on the Dunning on the credit level, credit basis, will not get this Dunning procedure. Okay, then we have to save it, and then we have to go for this Dunning levels. The Dunning levels are 4, right? So we have to schedule the Dunning levels in the Dunning levels. So since we have taken the gap as 10 days, after every 10 days the reminder will go to the customer. So we are taking first day, because yesterday, let's say yesterday is the due date, and today we are reminding them about the Dunning, and again we will remind at the 11th day, 21st day, so on and so on. So do you want to calculate the interest? Initially we don't want to calculate the interest, but after 30 days, after 31 days, if the payment is still not done after 30 days, you will calculate the interest. So this is what happens here. So always done. So print parameters. Do you want to print? Always done. Okay, so print all items. You want to print anything, you can check this and you can print accordingly, but as of now we are not checking it. Just say enter, and you can also go for Dunning texts. Dunning text for VPRO. So we can go for Dunning texts. Company code is VPRO. So we don't have the Dunning text here. So new company code VPRO, say OK, and in that the Dunning text also we are taking as VPRO. Dunning by Dunning area, or separate notice per Dunning level. So separate notice per Dunning level means we have to maintain different text for different levels. No, back VPRP. Now minimum amounts. For how much minimum amounts do you want it to be sent? INR. So we have everything in the INR. First Dunning level, we want to send it only if the minimum amount is at least 100. Below 100 we don't want to do the Dunning procedure at all. So minimum interest, we are going to put a 0 here. Minimum amount of interest 0. Now 2,000 0 minimum interest percentage, we are 10%. 3,000 10%. Okay, so minimum amount of interest, amount for interest is 10, and minimum percentage. So here percentage gets calculated. So 10% of 1,000 rupees is somewhere around 100 rupees. So 100 rupees will be deducted or charged extra. We also have to maintain it for 4. If you don't maintain for 4, again it will be a problem, because we have scheduled or we have assigned 4 levels of Dunning. So for all the 4 levels of Dunning, we need to mention these Dunning amounts, how much should be there. More than 10,000, we have 10%, and we will take legal actions against them after the 4th level of procedures. Say OK. Charges like how much Dunning charges you want to put. So that is the amount that we want to charge, but 1,000, from amount 1,000 we are charging the Dunning charges 1 rupee. Percentage we are not giving. Either of these two should be given. If you give both, it will give you an error. I'll just show you that. I'll just keep it like this and show you. So what it says, input must be in the format that one. Okay, I'll just remove this. It will accept now. Okay, so either this or that you have to mention. If I mention both, it will give an error. It says either specify a Danning charge or percentage. Either of these two have to be mentioned. Both cannot exist. Say enter. 4. Then Dunning text. Dunning text, what we want to mention? 1. The Dunning procedure for VPRO, that is VO, from Dunning form and all. We can select a Dunning form which is already there. Dunning form. So this Dunning form we are assigning at the first level. So these Dunning forms are standard, and this will be mentioned to you. This will be issued to you. This will be informed to you. Okay. There is another form here, Dunning 01. 3 PO Dunning 03. 4 VO Dunning 04. Enter. Back. Save it. Now this entire Dunning procedures are been loaded here. Now once it's been done, the Dunning procedures have been maintained. Assign Dunning procedure to customer master. This is a very important step here. XD02 is for changing the customer. So let's check what are the customer we already have created. I'll just say VPRO star F4. We just want to check what are the customers we created. We created just one customer here, 301311, and in this customer we have to assign that Dunning procedure. Whatever Dunning procedure that we have used now, we have assigned now, that should be assigned. So in this will be there in the company code data. Just go to the company code data and correspondence. In the correspondence we have Dunning procedure. This is where you need to access your Dunning procedure. So what is the Dunning procedure that we have? VPRO, VPRP. So select this and enter and save. Say changes have been made. Say okay. This has been done. Now it's been saved. Everything has been saved now. So this is the concept of maintaining the Dunning. Now sales invoice posting. This is a document. Actually we can post any number of documents, and then when we post a document and after the due date is over, then we can initiate the Dunning run. Dunning run we can do it in F-F150. So our focus in this video was to create the Dunning procedures and assign it to the customer master. That's it. So remaining things we can see it in the next video. So this is about the Dunning procedure.